On the phone now, we want to join Art Laffer, a former Reagan economic advisor. He's on the phone from Nashville for us. Art, thanks so much for being with us. I know this is a tough day for many who knew the Reagan family.
Well, thank you. It's very nice. Yeah, it's very sad news, but gosh, she had a wonderful life, and she was just the belle of the ball. I was involved with the Reagans well before he became president, and she was just an amazing person and the perfect partner for him. I mean, he and she were just a deadly duo. It's just amazing. And, you know, she had a wonderful life, and he made her life wonderful.
Well, she's often quoted in interviews saying that her life didn't start until she met Ronald Reagan. Did you kind of see that working alongside them?
Oh, Ken, did I ever. I mean, she was not only defensive of her husband, but she was so in love with her husband that it was really amazing to see this team player. I mean, it was incredible. I've never seen anything like it in my life. If you read those letters, you will see a couple that was so in love, and it's just amazing. I mean, even when he was gone a day or a day and a half or 2 days, I mean, they'd write letters to each other. It was just an amazing couple. And, you know, they were in the social set there, and she had all of her friends, and he had his friends, and they overlapped in the Los Angeles area. And that was just a wonderful couple. He made her life, and she made his.
Can you talk a little bit about, I don't think we had ever seen a first lady quite like her. And then everyone kind of had somebody to look up to in terms of former or first ladies who came after her. Can you talk about what she did to kind of change the game as a first lady?
Yeah, well, she was very elegant, very upper class in a very nice way. I mean, you know, she was down to earth with people, but she had an elegance, she had a poise about her that was First Lady-esque, like Jackie Onassis Kennedy. I mean, she was just an incredible person. And socially, she was the exact person that he needed. Never was he embarrassed being with her in public, whether it be here or abroad, and vice versa. She was never embarrassed by the president. He really knew how to be a president, and she knew how to be a first lady, and they played it off perfectly together. And, you know, they were so happy together. It's just amazing. They were always happy. When he saw her, that beam, a little smile would come on his face, and when she saw him, the same thing. It was very exciting being with him to see two people so much in love and like each other. I mean, and respect each other.
She was known to be kind of a tough cookie, though, as well.
She was
especially,
very tough.
Yeah. So talk about that piece of her.
Well, you know, she protected her husband from enemies that were real and that she thought might be real. and when she did, it was strong. I mean, you know, it was unforgiving. She was able to deal with situations far more aggressively, far more front-faced than he was. She really was very strong personally, and when she thought her Ronnie was not being treated properly, boy, was she right in there, guns a-blazing. But that was just one part of her. I mean, I've seen that part a lot. I saw the elegance. Oh, I did. And, you know, it's in the inner circles there. There was one evening when she defended her husband, when Bill Simon made a comment that she thought was inappropriate, and I saw her just dress him down like mad. You won't ever say like that, wagging your finger at him, and don't you dare talk about my husband that way. And I mean, you know, it scared me to death, to be frank. But she was just spectacular as a wife, as a partner, and as a colleague. I mean, they shared all sorts of real thoughts as well, not just personal thought and stuff, but you know, they shared a lot of policy issues together. I mean, they thought the same way.
Well, could you talk about that a little bit? Because there has been criticism that she really, you know, between pillow talk and that kind of thing, may have shaped a lot of his policies.
I don't think she and he disagreed substantially on policy, to be honest with you. I don't think so.
So maybe she was the reinforcer of some of his ideas?
She reinforced it and modified and magnified it, of course. But, you know, she and he saw the world in the same light. And she was the one who could overtly reflect the ambition that he quite often didn't reflect. You know, he was I've never seen him mad at someone. I've never seen him yell at someone. I've never seen him behave improperly with anyone. And I saw him in all sorts of circumstances. But with her, she was just very fire and brimstone, coming in and defending. And and being in the situation. And I just admired her enormously for what she did for the president. She scared me, don't get me wrong. but you know, as long as you didn't get on the president's bad side, she was a wonderful ally. And I've got some great correspondence from her thanking me for all the stuff with the president and with her. But still, she was the alter ego of the president, and he her alter ego too. I mean, we had some situations there in the Reagan Executive Advisory Committee, which was before he was elected president. This was the sort of pre-election when none of the establishment was with us at all. And, you know, she controlled a lot of that. I mean, the schedules, the meetings, where he went, what he did. You know, she would override Lynn Nofziger or Ed Meese from time to time. And there were rumors that there were times she didn't get along with some of his staffers. And I think it was probably true. And, you know, she just played a very major role in every aspect of his life. And it was always supportive. I never saw her go after him or behave as normal squabbling couples do. I've never seen that.
Do you think we've seen
a team all the way?
Yeah. Do you think we've seen a team in terms of President and First Lady quite like them?
No, I've never heard of anything quite like them in my life, to be honest. I don't know of any couple that I've ever met that were like they were. They were so dedicated to each other. In fact, you know, I think their dedication to some extent meant that sometimes they were more dedicated to each other than they were to the kids. And sometimes you saw the kids respond negatively to it. You know, but this was a couple just as a partnership from beginning to end.
Well, she seemed to even love him, you know, through his struggle with Alzheimer's disease especially, but even after his death, breaking with President George W. Bush in 2001, endorsing embryonic stem cell research, and that was something that became important to her later on.
Yeah, well, she did. She was. I mean, she let her views be known all the time, and you know, she didn't go public until, of course, he was out of the picture as far as being in the public. But she was never shy on her views, and you know, they did fit very nicely into his view of the world as well. But she was no shrinking violet, believe me when I tell you that. And she was the lady, the hostess, when she had a dinner party. And, you know, before the election, before he was elected president, there were lots of social occasions. I was with her in our sort of little set in L.A., and she was always the most elegant, beautifully poised person you've ever seen.
But she did take criticism for that early on, and that will be part of her legacy, that she came into the White House and she changed the China. It's one of the first things, you know, being reported. So that's, what do you think about that?
I think it's cool. I mean, I've never seen anyone who does anything substantive and serious that doesn't get criticized. And the fact that she's criticized only reflects that she did something serious. You know, they had the thing in the governor's mansion in Sacramento. They had the China in the White House. Those were all stories. There were also the substantive ones. I mean, she was a person who was involved. And as such, she did engender criticism. But I think she did a great job. And I think she loved her husband and protected him enormously. And that's exactly what her role should be when he was president. And he protected her, too, by the way. I mean, you saw the clips on his comments about Don Regan's book and talking about her a little bit off the record.
Yes.
If you hear his comments about Don Regan when he said those comments, I don't take it kindly to anyone who says something not nice about my wife, and you know that was Ronald Reagan, and that was Nancy Reagan. And we've lost a couple that, as a couple, changed the world.
Art, thank you so much for joining us. I know this is a tough day for many who knew the Reagan family, so thank you for calling in. We will probably be in touch with you a little bit later on as well if you want to stick with us.